G'day guys, welcome back to another video. So, not a fishing video today per se, but more of a cooking video. I was going to make a catch and cook video, but I've decided against it and we're just doing a straight up cooking video. I'm going to show you how I like to smoke my trout and salmon. So usually I do it on a Weber, which is a little bit different. Some people have their own smokers, but for me personally, I've got a Weber barbecue and it does everything for me, all the kinds of cooking I want to do. So we're going to use that to do some smoking. So what we've got here is a salmon that I caught today. Beautiful specimen, probably around sort of mid to high 30s in size. And it's gonna have that real nice orange flesh that you want for smoking. So with this, we're just gonna knock the fillets off it, real simple. We're not gonna worry too much about the pin bones in the rib cage. We're just gonna take the fillets off. Now obviously you can go and buy yours from the shops. You can go to the fishmonger and go get your own. But like I said, because I'm a fisherman, I always catch my own. So I'm gonna get stuck into it here. Got a T-tail here to get a nice grip on the fish so it doesn't slide around. Nice sharp knife as well. So first thing we're gonna do is just incision like this down to the backbone. Then we follow the backbone along here. Now, quick disclaimer, I am not the greatest fish filleter in the world. We may leave a little bit on the skeleton here. That's not a big deal, as we've got some friends who are going to smoke up the frames. We keep the fillets and they take the frames. So all the way through like that. It's a little bit pale in color, this one, but it should still be pretty good, I reckon. So just want to come over that. Oh, we can go under that fin, that's all right. Still on top of the backbone. Big thanks to my gorgeous wife for taking the video here. But yeah, we've just knocked that fillet off there. Beautiful. And the best part about cleaning fish in the kitchen is your wife has to clean it up after you're done.
Oi.
And we've also got the cat here. He seems like he's pretty keen on a little bit. If he's lucky, he might get a little bit. But that's how I take the fillets off, guys. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. Same process. Probably don't need to see that. So next thing we're gonna do is make up the salt and sugar brine that we're gonna cover these fillets in. Right, so we're just making our salt and sugar brine right now. We've got brown sugar and we've got some flaky salt here. So the ratio is about 3 parts brown sugar to 1 part salt. So it doesn't need to be perfectly measured out or exact. You can basically eyeball it. I reckon that's probably getting pretty close to what I want it to be. So basically we're just going to mix it up by hand like this. And we've got a fillet of a brown trout there that I prepared earlier. And what we're going to do is liberally apply it to the flesh. Don't be shy, put plenty on there. Now what's going to happen over time is the salt is going to draw out a lot of moisture out of the fish. And this tub will be full of like a brown juice, and that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do another fillet, and what I'm going to do is off the other fillet off this one fish, I'm going to put it flesh side down on top of that. Don't put skin to flesh. Have flesh to flesh, and if you're going to stack it up, put skin to skin with flesh upright. And basically, you don't want flesh to skin. You want flesh to flesh when you stack up your tray. So we'll get the other ones, we'll put it in there, and then we're going to leave it in the fridge overnight, and we're going to have a look at it tomorrow. Okay, so we've come out to my barbecue kettle. We've got the fish in the fridge. It's been in there overnight. We're going to go take a look at it shortly to see how the brine has done its job. Now, what I've got here is a basket with about 20 briquettes in there, and I've got another 10 briquettes there as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of make a ring of briquettes around that fire lighter, light the fire lighter, and then put the rest of them on top to help light it up. And once they've ashed over, we're going to throw them into here. Now, when it comes to the choice of fuel to use, some people like using hardwood, some people like using briquettes. Personally, I'm a briquettes fan. The reason being is that hardwood does burn quite hot and unevenly, and it's great for grilling, but when it comes to smoking, the briquettes tend to burn more evenly and smoothly. So I prefer these because they really help you dial in the actual heat and the temperature in the barbecue. As far as the wood choice, I'm using cherry wood. Now you can use apple wood as well. Both of them are going to work really great for doing this kind of smoking of fish. What I would recommend is avoiding woods like hickory and mesquite. They can be quite pungent on flavour and they work great for things like beef and chicken, but with fish which is a little bit more delicately flavoured, definitely recommend cherry. In fact, I use cherry for pretty much everything from fish through to chicken, beef, lamb. Like, it's a great wood for smoking. So if you're looking to get into smoking meats, get yourself some cherry wood and get chunks. Don't get the chips, because for a given volume of wood, this has a much smaller surface area, which means it'll burn for longer and put more of that smoky flavour in. When you got the chips, there's more surface area, so they burn up a lot quicker and you lose a lot of that smoky flavour. So definitely recommend chunks over chips. So what we'll do now is we'll go inside, we'll light this up first, then we'll go inside and go check out the fish in the brine. Just a handy little tip here for when you are firing up the small pile of coals. You can see here, I've got the fire lighter lit underneath it, but you can't see any fire coming out, but there's a lot of smoke. That's a good sign. If you've got fire coming up around it and it's not smoking that much, the coals aren't going to light up and burn as quickly as you'd want them to get started. So you definitely want a lot of smoke coming out of your little briquette pile there. Okay, so those briquettes have ashed over. I've thrown them in the basket. I've put the wood next to the basket but not in it, and I've put the lid on. So what we're doing is preheating the barbecue and preheating the briquettes that weren't lit up to help them sort of light up easier through the smoking process. We brought the salmon out here as well. Now this has been brining overnight, so we're going to get this lid off. Let's see. There we go. So you can see that juice that's in the tub there. That means the brining process has worked. The salt draws a lot of the moisture out of the fish, which is ideal for what we want. So what we do here is we're just going to get a piece of it here. Just going to throw it on this side here. And what you want to do is get some paper towel or napkins. I've got some napkins here. And just give it a bit of a pat dry like that to get it ready to go on the barbecue. Now, one other thing I didn't mention when I was filleting this fish is that you leave the skin on the other side, and the reason that we do that is it's to help protect it from the heat coming up from the coals. We don't want to really grill this fish, we want to smoke it. So the skin helps act as like a protective barrier from the heat. The smoke will waft up around it with the heat and it'll help to smoke that fish. Now the cook time is going to be 3 to 4 hours, so yeah, it's quite a long cooking time. So we're going to get this all ready to go and we're going to chuck it on the Weber. Alright, so we've put our wood on the in the coal basket there now. I've kept the wood up this end of the coal basket where the charcoal is fired up. I haven't put it down towards that end because we want the wood to smoke in the early stages of the smoking process. So we can see now the smoke's already starting to come off and it's a lovely blue color, which is what you want for smoking. Now we're going to put our fish on, and we're not going to put it over the top of the coals. We're going to put it on the other side of the grill. This is, like I said before, to stop it from grilling. We want it to smoke. So we're going to put the lid on and we're going to close the vents. We want to have it around about 100 degrees Celsius, which is around 210 Fahrenheit, over the fish. So we're going to spin it around to make sure that the temperature probe is near the fish. So that'll be at the right temperature. It's about a 3 to 4 hour cook process. We check on it a couple times through the process, and through the cooking process, might even add a little bit of flavour onto this fillet here that's a little bit more pale. I think we might throw some Manuka honey on. So stay tuned. We'll see what it looks like in a couple of hours. Okay, so we've hit our target temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. So what we do here is we close over the vent a little bit here, and just underneath there's another vent there, and we close that down about halfway. So it's to let enough airflow to go through the barbecue to keep the briquettes lit, but we don't want them to burn too hot and get the temperature too high. So through the cooking process, we'll come out, we'll check it, and if it's getting too hot, we close it down a bit more. If it's starting to get cold, we'll open up the vent. So probably check it every half an hour or so. And yeah, it's gonna be ready in a few hours, and I'm pretty keen to try it, that's for sure. All right, so we're about 3 hours into the cooking time now. So we're just gonna take a quick look at it to see how it looks. Now, during the cook, try not to lift the lid because it allows more air into the barbecue, and it really lifts the temperature up. So you want to try and keep the lid on as much as you can and just trust the process is working. So if I lift it now, we'll have a quick look. Oh yeah, we've got some lovely color on these fillets. It's probably about another hour left to go, and what we're going to do, so this one here is a little bit more pale in color compared to the other two. So these two here are not going to need much extra flavor. This one here might need just a little bit of help. So we've got some Manuka honey here. It's a little basting brush, so we're just going to grab a bit of that honey. We're just going to brush it onto the fillet there. And the last hour, hopefully that honey will get nice and deep into it. Now, we do our trout and our salmon a little bit more than other people do. The reason being is my wife likes it quite dry. She does like a charcuterie board with it. But if you wanted it a little bit more juicy, just less cooking time is all you need. Once you got that nice orange color, it's probably pretty much done. But yeah, we're gonna let this run for another hour, and then we'll be pulling it off the barbecue. So we'll see you back then once it's all ready to go. All right guys, so we're now at the 4 hour mark, and these should be done. So let's take the lid off and have a look. Oh yeah, they're looking really good. Now, a bit of a test here, because we like ours very dry. Give it a bit of a press. I don't have any juice coming up, so they're nice and dry, just the way my wife likes it. So we're going to take these off now and put them on a plate. And what we're going to do is just let these cool down a bit. We're going to grab a spoon or a fork and basically just flick all the meat off of the fillets into a bowl. And my wife's going to have that with some cheese and crackers a bit later. And we'll get the verdict from her on how it's turned out. So this is the end result, guys. We've got a lovely piece of trout here. And we've got some cheese and crackers and a few other things. And my wife is going to give it a go.
Perfect.
Perfect?
That's really good.
Yeah. So that's how I like to smoke trout and salmon, guys. Makes a nice little snack here. It's going to be dinner actually. But yeah, if you like this video, please flick us a like. If you've got any comments about the process, leave it in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. If you came here for the cooking, hope you stay for the fishing. Cheers.